delicious. Come to the Courtyard Restaurant and meet a date between taste buds and nature. The decoration of the restaurant, a tree with flowers, and a table of delicious food. Everything in the world, only delicious food and beautiful scenery can be lived up to. Sun Valley, a wonderful journey for taste buds. Here, every dish is a carefully cooked work of art. From the selection of fresh ingredients, to the unique cooking skills, to the exquisite arrangement, all of them show our persistence and love for food. Entering our restaurant, you will be attracted by the Sun Valley. Whether it is warm lights, comfortable seats, or unique decoration, it will create a relaxing and pleasant dining environment for you. Our service team is warm and thoughtful, always paying attention to your needs and making you feel at home. Come to Sun Valley and let delicious food and beauty meet. Address Gure, next to Mary Queen Church. Order phone number 09-280-76300.
Nearly 300 police officers graduate after completing refresher training. Government and Smart Africa Alliance signed artificial intelligence cooperation agreement. Health authorities raise concern over sharp increase in the miscarriage. Very good afternoon. This is SSBC News coming to you live in our studio headquarters here in Juba. My name is Mayuriam Yok. To continue with our news, the government has reiterated its unwavering commitment to fully implement the revitalized agreement on the resolution of the conflict in South Sudan, signed in 2018. The assurance is directed toward both South Sudanese citizens and the international community, emphasizing peace as the foundation for the national development and increased investment. This reformation followed a meeting between the Vice President for the Economic Cluster, Dr. Benjamin Bolmel, and the South African Ambassador to South Sudan, Moliot Mahabi, focused on the strengthening bilateral relations and expanding economic cooperation between the two countries. The government said the peace agreement remained essential for advancing a national stability and creating an enabling environment for social progress and economic growth.
Our engagement with His Excellency Vice President Benjamin Bol centered supremely around fostering socio-economic development relations between South Sudan and South Africa, and we also encouraged that business people from South Sudan, business people from South Africa should get together and work together to try and ensure that we ignite all the socio-economic opportunities in South Sudan to ensure that vulnerable people in South Sudan benefit from businesses which will come up in South Sudan via jobs and job opportunities. We also discussed the issue of peace, and we emphasized that it's important that peace prevails in South Sudan so that even investors should feel comfortable to come and invest.
Related development, the government is currently reviewing the 2024-2025 strategy plan for the livestock and the fisheries sector, aimed at revitalizing and strengthening the industry's contribution to the national economy. The review process is being led by Vice President for Economic Cluster, Dr. Benjamin Bolmel, alongside the Minister of Livestock and Fisheries, Onyoti Adingo. The strategy plan focuses on transforming the country's abundant livestock and fish resource into commercially viable products to boost trade, enhance food security, and reap sustainable economic growth. Officials say the plan aligns with the broader national goal to diversify the economy and reduce reliance on the oil revenue through improved agricultural and fisheries activity.
Dr. Benjamin Bolmel, Vice President and Head of Economic Cluster, met with Honorable Onyoti Edigo, Minister of Fisheries and Livestock, to discuss the economic development of the blue economy. Honorable Onyoti Edigo insisted that the blue economy will help sustain the economic development of the nation, and it will also help process and supplement growing economies and also supplement the development of other industries and sectors. Honorable Onyoti Edigo, with the aid and help of His Excellency the Vice President Dr. Benjamin Bolmel, has insisted that before the economic cluster, in the presence of the economic cluster, the strategic plan will be portrayed and given and handed to ensure that the development of this economy will continue, and also that livestock and fishery will play a major role as a strategic element of the nation building.
Tiger women's volleyball team is calling for public and institutional support as they prepare to participate in a two major regional tournament, including Genocide Memorials Tournament in Kigali, Rwanda, and the Paro Tournament in Uganda. This polar meeting between the Vice President for Service Cluster Josephine Joseph Lago and the team delegation. According to the Vice President's Press Secretary Nazaro Marcelo, the Vice President has encouraged the team to continue through rigorous training and represent the country with pride, instructing the team to meet with the Vice President for the Youth and Gender Cluster, Rebecca Nyadeng de Mabio, for further guidance and encouragement. Team Representative Selpa Mathok Marial expressed gratitude for the government's ongoing effort to promote sport and emphasize the importance of such initiative in enhancing the country's regional presence.
Vice President and Chair of Service Cluster, Her Excellency Josephine Lago, met with members from Tiger Women Volleyball Team. Tiger Women Volleyball Team is preparing to represent the country in two tournaments. One will be in Uganda, the other one will be in Rwanda, Kigali. The team members congratulated Her Excellency for winning the trust of the President and appointing her Vice President and Chair of Service Cluster. Her Excellency the Vice President urged the team to remain focused and not to stress themselves about the current challenges they are facing, but rather to concentrate on their training in order to represent the country in a good way during the tournament.
Tiger volleyball team has been training for the last 3 months, preparing to go for Genocide and a protocol in Uganda. And when we came here, the Vice President was very positive with our message, and she promised us that we are going to travel to Kigali and to Uganda to go and represent South Sudan. So we are very happy with her giving us the chance, and also these young ladies here you are seeing around here, she was very happy also and encouraging the young ladies also to join volleyball and other sectors of the sports also.
Governor of United States Justice Bimtop say local in his state are engaging in farming activities as security continue to hold. Top met the statement upon briefing Presidential Advisor on National Security Affairs, Madud Dut yell on general security situation and political and economic situation in the United States.
To come and congratulate him on his appointment, saying he has been appointed. We have never met because I have been in the state. I also had a very good interaction with him, comparing pages on security matters, especially the developments that are happening in South Sudan, and particularly the security of the United States. I took him through some of the developments which are purely isolated incidents related to cattle raiding, insecurities that can be handled through
Staff Information Communication Technology and Postal Service, Michael Makwelweth, has signed on Friday a declaration of trust with Smart Africa aligned to cooperate on digital economics, cybersecurity and artificial intelligence. Briefing the press after the signing ceremony, Telecommunication Undersecretary Thomas Gatquas said with this declaration, South Sudan will now begin working with other member states of the alliance to commence work on the digital economic structure as well about border trade. He further said the declaration would also offer more chance for scholarship for South Sudanese students to learn more on the digital economy, cybersecurity and artificial intelligence. Smart Africa vision is single digital market, digital trade, one identified across the border.
Today is the final day for signing a declaration for the Smart Africa Trust Alliance, which is meant for cooperation of all the member states. And what it means to us is that there will be a share of expertise, share of knowledge, and cooperation and higher level cooperation in the development of digitization of the economy for all the countries. So we will have it signed. It has been signed by the Minister, Honorable Minister Michael Makwe, and the Honorable Director General Mr. Kone. That is a very important occasion for us as member state for the Smart Africa Alliance. So all the experts in the country will share, will participate in all the development.
Ask for this short break. We shall be right back. Stay tuned, don't go away. Welcome back from that short break. You're still watching SSBC News Afternoon. Minister of Parliamentarian Affairs Mary Nawai Martin encouraged citizens to embrace peaceful coexistence. Speaking during an interview with SSBC NEWI calls on the political parties to revert to dialogue as a means to resolve the underlying issues in the peaceful process.
For us as citizens of this country, the first thing is we need to own our country. When we own our country, that this is our country, we will be able to stop all the communal violence that are taking place. We will be able to decide that enough is enough. We have fought for many years to get our independence. We should stop all the rebellions that are happening and decide now to develop our own country. And then coming to the issue of election, it is our constitutional right as the people of South Sudan to make sure that if we stabilize all the insecurity, all the insecurity are not there, we will be able to vote to choose our own leaders.
South Sudan and Japan have reaffirmed their commitment to strengthening a cultural cooperation between the two countries. This followed a meeting between the country's Minister of Culture, Museum and National Heritage, Dr. Nadia Arop-Dudi, and the Japanese ambassador to South Sudan, Toshako Odigire. According to the Undersecretary in the Ministry, Bajom Malong, Japan extended an official invitation for the Minister Dr. Nadia to participate in the upcoming Expo Festival in Tokyo, a major cultural event that showcases international heritage and collaboration. Ambassador Odigire lauded the ongoing diplomatic ties between the two nations, noting that strong cultural relations are key to sharing future development and mutual understanding.
Wish her the great success of the national event next week, June 4th. That will be the showcase of the South Sudan, showcase for the South Sudan for their culture and the spirit, and also the history, and also the wildlife and everything, just like about everything about South Sudan. And we also emphasize the culture and the sports have the strong power to bring the peace and harmony.
Between June and July 2024, reports estimate that over 3 million individuals, including pregnant or breastfeeding women and children in humanitarian setting, were exposed to crucial and hardship, promoting a new call for the enhancing protection in response. The government, in cooperation with the partners, has initiated consultation aimed at strengthening the child protection mechanism. SSBC Abate Simon Koda report.
South Sudan faces profound humanitarian crisis confounded by the returnees across the borders and refugees in plague from the Sudan's conflict, including individuals with disabilities. The Undersecretary in the Ministry of Gender, Child and Social Welfare, Esther Ikere, affirms that the child protection strategic shift are going to take a gradual approach to fix the social contract.
And once it's with government, it can be more sustainable because we'll be using the existing structure. One thing I want to echo here is that this shift will not be radical. This shift is going to be gradual.
The Executive Director of Community in Need Aid, SINA, Dr. Daniel Macho, operating in Upper Nile region, affirms Take 5 model approach of youth program as a suitable option for the child protection in the region.
This transition back to the government will be able to take effective role in coordinating child protection work, but also will be able to fulfill their obligation, because we know issues of social norms that affect children or women.
The Executive Director of Institute for Protection of Civil Society, IPCS, Luna Abdallah Lasso, operating in Equatoria region, asserts the need to strengthening efforts, child protection mechanisms.
Receive this child and then we provide first the in-kind support, maybe clothing, food, and then health If he's sick, we take it to the hospital, and then we start to see the issue of tracing the family, because most of them will have lost their families. A child can come all the way from Uganda, coming alone.
Mary Matown, the representative of Women Aid Bison operating in Bagadagazal region, affirms that there is need by all levels of public and private child service providers to address the root causes pushing a child out of family.
This collaboration, where the ministry and the implementing partners will be working together, this collaboration is likely to bring very good results, because where the partner cannot reach, the government can reach.
Dibaba John, the head of programs for integrated humanitarian aid operating in administrative areas, expresses the need to have a memorandum of understanding between the government and supporting partners in favor of child protection strategic shift in South Sudan.
Program which the partner is bringing to government, such that after the project, if funding is no more, government is going to pick from what the partners have done.
In this program, the partners and the government asserts that conflict and displacement worsened by floods and economic hardships had led to widespread of food insecurity and limited access to essential services for children. Abate Simon Godo, SSBC News.
Program for regional disaster risk and early warning response mechanism organized by the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs and Disaster Management has concluded with commitment to collaborate with aiming fostering disaster risk reduction mechanism. SSBC Idris Stephen filed the report.
During the 3 days spell at Pyramid Hotel in Juba, experts from line institutions and those drawn from the region dwelt in intensive deliberations on the aspects and inputs of the new early warning disaster and risk reduction document, making analysis of the regional weather forecast in order to come up with a consolidated approach to handle disasters in the country. Addressing the participants during the closing, the Deputy Chairperson of South Sudan Relief and Rehabilitation Commission, Agwekring Mabil, said sharing information on disaster risk early warning is crucial because it saves many lives from tragedies.
The early warning system is good to our people in South Sudan to be aware about any disaster, so that they should have knowledge about what is going to happen. I urge you all to disseminate the early warning message to all sectors for planning and decision making.
The Director for Disaster Risk Management in the Ministry, Joshua Banak, said the National Technical Working Group is now well equipped with the knowledge on how to counter any disaster across the country.
In the last 3 days, we analyzed the regional forecast for June, July, August, September for 2025. What happened is that South Sudan is one of the countries that will be impacted by the rainfall this season. So this group has analyzed the possible impact and then also put forward some advisories and the solutions. Yeah, one of them will involve the dissemination of this information and finances for the people who may be impacted.
The Director for South Sudan Meteorological Center, Mr. Mojo Kogawi Modo, said the center has released a regional document for weather forecast for the months of June to September, entailing information which could help alert the public about possible disasters.
We are happy to inform our public that the forecast has been disseminated into our national seasonal forecast, and it indicates that the period from June to September 2025, some areas in our country will receive above normal rainfall.
On her part, the program manager at the United Nations Disaster Risk Reduction Office, Paul Basin Koko, encouraged participants to share the skills and reach all the grassroots to educate them about the dangers of the weather changes in the region and its possible impacts.
The work has now begun, the work of going into the states, into the PIAMs, to give these early warning messages to the communities, to the different sectors, so that they can be able to plan and be able to inform their decision making. As UNDRR, we continue to re-emphasize our commitment to the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs and Disaster Management, to the government of the Republic of South Sudan.
Indeed, we are so happy as a government institution in our country to come together and share our ideas on early warning system. We have taken this initiative under our Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs and our line ministries to come together and share our mind together and see how we can really prepare ourselves and inform our people of the disaster that we are anticipating.
The workshop was organized by the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs and Disaster Management in collaboration with the United Nations Office for Disaster Risk Reduction, with focus on conceptualization of the regional standards into South Sudan model. Eddie Stephen, SSBC News, Juba.
Last of this, another short break. We shall be right back shortly. Stay tuned, don't go away. Come back from that short break. Still watching SSBC News. Civic society and faith-based institutions have renewed their call to the National Election Commission to expedite the rollout of civic education and voter registration activities as the electoral period approach. The group emphasized that the early preparations are crucial for conducting credible and fair general election, especially for the country like South Sudan, which is preparing for its first post-independent national election. SSBC Dr. Quinn report.
In anticipation of the upcoming election, key stakeholders, including the National Elections Commission, civil society organization, faith-based institution, have adopted a joint cooperation framework aimed at addressing legal, finance and security challenges surrounding the electoral process, which are essential for election scheduled for December 2026 at the end of the transitional period. The discussion, led by civil society organization, brought together over 50 members from across the country, states and administrative areas, faith-based groups and representatives from the Elections Commission participate in an extensive roundtable dialogue focused on strengthening false ways toward timely, inclusive and peaceful election. In his closing remark, National Elections Commission representatives Amos Ochieng urged participants to collaborate effectively in implementing the recommendations generated during the forum to ensure credible election.
During this discussion, we have benefited a lot as a civil society because the issues raised were very vital you have identified the challenges that hinders the operationalization of the electoral process, and we concluded it by coming with a recommendation in form of a communique with the resolutions that were put down in the document that will help to open ways so that the election become real.
Civil Society Representative Right Reverend Dr. Zakaria Manyok Biar praised the government's ongoing efforts to maintain peace and security, key components in facilitating civic education and expanding political participation.
We in the faith-based organizations are ready to cooperate with the National Election Commission in South Sudan to ensure that what we talk about in our laws is implemented. We talk about ourselves as a democratic nation.
UNMISS Principal Electoral Affairs Officer Darren S. Nance reaffirmed the United Nations commitment to support the National Elections Commission in organizing reliable, inclusive elections in South Sudan.
The UN Integrated Electoral Assistance Team is proud to be able to have been able to support this important roundtable dialogue with the National Elections Commission and representatives of civil society from around the country. Communicated that civil society representatives have endorsed in this meeting that its profound desire for actions related to these clarification points and calling upon political leadership to take actions in order to facilitate the NEC and its mandate and facilitate the process of elections in South Sudan.
Dutta Punjok, SSBC News.
The South Sudan National Police Service has once again graduated 290 personnel, including non-commissioned officers and privates, after completing 6-month refresher training course focused on police laws and procedures. The move is seen as the major step towards strengthening police service across the country. SSBC Mathiang Joseph report.
Dressed in full uniform and visibly motivated, nearly 300 police personnel, comprising non-commissioned officers and privates, have successfully completed a 6-month refresher training course on police law and order. The graduation marks part of a broader efforts by the police to reinforce law enforcement and enhance public protection services nationwide. Inspector General of Police General Abraham Peter Manyuat praises the Directorate of Training for executing its constitutional mandate to professionalize the force. General Manyuat also called for greater cooperation between the police and the civilian population to advance protection efforts in the country.
And Director General of Police tasked with the very important mandate of preventing crime, combating and investigating crime, and protecting life and properties, maintaining law, order, and upholding the Constitution. As I say, our focus is the transformation to achieve professionalism through training. To the public, I appeal for cooperation with the police because security is collective responsibility.
Deputy Inspector General of Police Lieutenant General Thomas Jal Thomas and Assistant Inspector General for General Administration and Finance Lieutenant General Majak Arol Kashwal urged the newly trained personnel to respect the chain of command.
نكتسب هيبة بتاعت القانون، هيبة الدولة. الابتعاد من السياسة، الابتعاد من البوليتكس.
Lieutenant General Jackson Elia Arika, Assistant Inspector General for Human Resource Development, reiterated that training is a key to equipping officers with the essential skills to effectively execute their duties.
يسمى بتجاعدات وده التدريب تحته فيه الأساس يدير skills knowledge ability to do the work.
فالدفعة المتخرجة اليوم ده دفعة تازة طوابير، دفعة تازة طوابير. طبعا الناس اللي مدربون دي يعني مدربون عشان يشغلوا طوابير في بوليس هو طابور الشرف
Graduation officers have received a specialized training in ceremonial marching for national events, VIP protection and anti-riot control, skills aimed at boosting the professionalism and readiness of the force and aligning the police force with the international professional standards. Reporting for SSBC News, Mathiang Joseph, Juba.
Thank you, Joseph, for that wonderful report. Now, to continue, government of Western Equatorial State joined the rest of the world in celebrating the International UN Peacekeeping Day. Speaking during the events, the acting governor in Western Equatorial State, Yambio James Sabareno Morris, outlined the UNMISS's role in South Sudan.
I'm very glad and exceedingly humbled to stand here on this day of Peacekeepers International Day. And the theme itself speaks for itself, that peace begins with me. Not with anybody else, but with me. That means if I embrace peace, my family embrace peace, and it goes on, we will build a global peaceful village.
As this theme of today said that let the peace start with me. If I am in peace, my family will be in peace. Because as members of parliament, I'm representing here members of parliament as a leader. We are representing our community. If the peace started with me, that means my home will be peaceful, my community, and the state. That means the peace will extend from me to my community. Now, as the sacrifice those our brothers, lovely brothers, have laid down their life for the sake of peace, ask yourself, am I in peace in my home?
For 77 years, United Nations peacekeepers have made a tangible impact on the communities they serve, saving and changing lives while helping many countries navigating difficult paths from conflict to peace. The challenges they face are greater than ever. Growing polarization and division around the globe. Operations made even more dangerous from multiplicity of threats, targeting peacekeepers through deadly misinformation. And challenges that transcend borders, from the climate crisis to transitional crime. Impartial partner, Animist law is to support all parties leading to the transformation of this country. We, together with our regional and international partners, urge parties to the peace agreement to resolve tensions through dialogue, building trust and confidence, secure a cessation of hostilities, and take the necessary step to fully implement the
Defense Forces General Paul Nang has issued directive to all division commanders to fully cooperate with the humanitarian organization delivering relief service to the vulnerable communities, ensuring the operation proceed without obstruction. General Nang made the remark during the closing session of the 3-day training program jointly organized by the Joint Verification and Monitoring Mechanism, UNAMIS and ICRC. The training aimed to equip division commanders with strategies to manage their force effectively and ensure adherence to the humanitarian principle in the conflict-affected areas. The directive is seen as the crucial step towards improving access to life-saving assistance across the country.
I hope this reflects the quality of our dialogue, not only at Juba level, but the reality of what's happening in the field every day. This is what I'm hearing from my teams, and I think it's another step on in a long history of relationship. More than training, reflection on targeting, on avoiding collateral damage. It's a tool we've developed as ICRC through the experience we have had over the years. And it's not a tool where we tell people what to do, it's a tool to have armies, officers reflect on what to do.
This workshop is very good. It is productive. SSPDM Awareness Day. This day we call it a day. Because this is not the first day for us to come together with ICRC and change our ideas, especially in issues pertaining international humanitarian law. International humanitarian law is the guiding principle that is important for any soldier.
Authorities are raising concern over sharps rising in the miscarriage, with at least 10 cases now being reported daily. Many link it to the gender-based violence. Victims of the miscarriage often suffer in silence, facing severe social stigma. SSBC Isaac Ledure visit Juba Teaching Hospital and has this story.
A dream of motherhood and the anticipation of new life, but for others it can take a heartbreaking turn. Miscarriages, spontaneous losses of pregnancy before the 20th week, are more common, affecting up to 15% of known pregnancies. Lucky Gloria, Assistant Medical Director at Juba Teaching Hospital, explains some of the causes of miscarriages on pregnant women.
Previous abortion, if it has happened before and then the woman get pregnant again, there is possibility of the reoccurrence. That's why when miscarriages occur, we counsel the woman or a wife and a husband to at least keep the uterus empty for the duration of 3 to 6 months without any pregnancy, and this duration will help them to do proper investigations and proper treatments so that the miscarriages doesn't reoccur.
According to health officials, women from low-income communities face greater risk due to limited access to quality parental care and poor nutrition, among others. Dr. Justin Silvestro Otto outlines some of the other risk factors contributing to miscarriages and possible ways of preventing it.
In every duty, we can receive like 60 patients per day. Within those 60 patients, you find 10 of them are cases of miscarriages. So if you multiply 10 times the month, you will have 300 miscarriages, okay, in a month. So one of the risk factors that they should also be aware about is lifestyle. If they were taking too much alcohol, they should stop alcohol. smoking should be quit. They make sure that they also go to ANC visit regularly. Then if there are other chronic illnesses like diabetes, hypertension, they have to be diagnosed early and they have to be treated before they enter into complications.
Dr. Adel, registrar at Obstetrics and Gynecology Department, emphasizes on the importance of conducting regular pregnancy monitoring.
We're supposed to do ultrasound in early pregnancy to determine first where is the site of pregnancy. Is the pregnancy inside the uterus or the pregnancy is outside the uterus, and what we always call it ectopic pregnancy. So we should do it early in pregnancy to determine that the pregnancy is inside the uterus. Then we continue. If it is normal, a woman should continue with the regular scanning every month. And if she starts to develop vaginal bleeding and she presents to the hospital, we always go for the scanning to determine is this pregnancy complete or incomplete miscarriage or other type of the pregnancy after doing the clinical examination.
A person who had case of miscarriage at 6 months at Juba Teaching Hospital explains how it started.
In the first day, when it started, I experienced pain and I did not know that it was miscarriage. The second day, I was fine and I went to the salon. So in the evening, when I went to take shower, it started.
Jojo Betty, a family planning service provider at Juba Teaching Hospital, says family planning is another option of controlling unplanned pregnancies.
First, when the client come in, we give a family planning counseling first. Then after doing it, we do screening for pregnancy. After realizing she is not pregnant 100%, then we administer. The importance of giving family planning to give space between one child and the other.
The health officials encourages women aspiring to conceive later in life to carry out medical screening and close monitoring during early pregnancy to help improve outcome. Isaac Ludori Emmanuel, SSBC News, Juba.
Isaac Ludori, that story brings us to the end of our afternoon news. On behalf of the technical team, we say thank you, bye-bye. My name is Mayeriam. Stay tuned for the rest of the program coming up.
Driving in demanding environments can make your engine work harder, adding stress to all the internal components, making them wear out more quickly. Engine combustion produces ash and other deposits that can form a sludge, blocking vital oilways and restricting oil flow throughout your engine. ADNOC Voyager is specially formulated to guard against sludge buildup by cleaning your engine. ADNOC Voyager is certified by major car manufacturers and is engineered for optimum performance, ensuring maximum protection throughout the life of your engine. ADNOC Voyager. Drive with confidence.
Go.
Driving in demanding environments can make your engine work harder, adding stress